YouTube, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we got a great one coming for you today. You already seen it in the title, you already know what's going on, but for those of you who cannot read, that was rude. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're gonna hop right into it after this. All right, we are back, guys, and welcome to another Heavenly Movie Review. Yo, got the homeboy with me. Hey, everybody in the chat, sing it with Happy Birthday to him. Shot. Happy birthday. Yeah. Look at him. Yeah, he getting big. But anyway, like I said, you seen it in the title. We went and saw Doctor Strange, all right? Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, okay? We are here to talk about it. You know, this ain't your first rodeo for those of you who have watched the very first Heavenly Movie Review. Why am I talking like I got 14 videos of this when I don't? This is only the second one. But anyway, like I said, so let's talk, okay? Now, I have, last video, we had somebody, well, my lady, she wasn't too into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but we got somebody who, you know, likes the Marvel movies, like, you know what I mean, likes the action. So we could probably get a little bit more of a rounded answer on his thoughts of Doctor Strange, okay? Now, let's talk about this, because the last time I told you guys in the last video, in order to understand the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's only one person that really should be looked at as in terms of knowing everything, and that is none other than Stephen Strange, okay? For the simple fact of the matter that he is a multiversal character. But that's very, I can say this. The one thing I definitely liked about the movie was, even though Doctor Strange is one of the most powerful MCU characters, he's not the only one, all right? Which is kind of weird because we got introduced to this character and I've never seen her before. I've never even heard of her in the comics, even though she might be, but I've never actually seen her. And that was the girl, remember, who can actually travel between multiverses, you know what I mean? Whereas now it starts to make sense. Whereas Doctor Strange, even though he's multiversal, there's still limitations to his multiverse travel. Whereas this girl, there's no limit to her. Like, she thinks that she can go there, you know what I mean? So that's a very interesting thing. And another thing that I really liked about this movie is the different alternate characters, I would say. Because that's one thing. Ever since Spider-Man No Way Home, when the multiverse actually started to click in, they've been doing an amazing job as far as laterally bringing different variants into the universe. Like for this one, seeing the, what was that number, 868 or 863? Yeah, I think it was 863 that they were on. All right, and that's their Earth Strange, who supposedly died saving the world from Thanos, which you later on find out that wasn't even the case. Homeboy got taken over by the Darkhold and ended up understanding the Darkhold and got eliminated by none other than Black Bolt himself, okay? That was another thing that was really, really cool. I'm starting to see the different integrations of the Marvel characters. Now, with this being said, we definitely got to see the X-Men. We know that the X-Men is going to be, we always known they were a part of the Avengers, but
we never thought they would collab.
Yeah, like actually collab on the big screen. That was, you know, something different. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm kind of mad that, because I'm gonna feel like it's a waste, but I feel like y'all wasted like 10 minutes just to show us them and they died off rip. You know what I mean? They all died like that quick. Black Bolt, you know, but other than that, you know, it was nice to see what's going on here. And the one thing that's really, really interesting is, I know I'm skipping all around the place, but the main thing that I want to talk about is for those of you who will watch the movie, you would know about the third eye. All right. So the third eye was only represented and shown to us after Steven went to Universe 863, and that Steven eliminated all the other Stevens who came to his universe because he was the sole protector of the Darkhold. But there's one thing that I want to let you guys know before I let him pass it on. The one thing I want you guys to think about is the fact of the matter is, let's relate this to real life. At the end, you'll see our universe is strange, 616. He'll start to get the third eye. And the reason that is happening is because I base it off of real world. When somebody tells you you're intelligent or you're on a different level thinking, what do they usually say to you? Your third eye is open, correct? So with that being said, mind you, the whole movie was for them to get a hold of the book, because the book had information and higher level learning that they needed in order to take out the Darkhold. So with that being said, we can kind of say that Strange, by reading the book, ascended in level of intelligence, which is why at the end you see the third eye actually open. It has nothing to do with, I don't think it has anything to do with him being evil, but I just think it has something to do with the learning and the knowledge itself inside the book that, made him, have that third eye. But other than that, I mean, to me, I definitely can say this was I'll give it a 10 out of 10 for myself, because, I didn't really see a flaw with it. But there is an Easter egg that I actually saw before I went to go see the movie, and I actually saw they did not fix this Easter egg in the movie, and we'll talk about it right after this. But what was your thoughts on
I thought it was I think it was a 9 out of 10. Mm-hmm. I think there was some parts where they were like, they did things too fast, or there was things said too fast, people skipped through it and missed it, because when we see like the girl that he was going against, I forgot her name.
You talk about Scarlet Witch?
Yeah, Scarlet Witch. When we had seen her, when we had figured out that she knew the girl's name, and she tapped her finger and everything went red, that was like I think that was too quick, because I lost what happened, and then I kind of like had to go back, and I understood that she was a villain, and she was a person snapping her finger because she could read the book and change the order of everything.
Yeah.
And I think that it was weird how she could change everything, go back in the book, and how she can just change how if she died she can go back and change that she had lived. Why did she not do that? Because she had every opportunity to get the power from the girl.
Right.
But she chose to go through the whole thing after knowing she was going to lose herself.
Right.
Looked at her book.
Right.
I also thought it was weird how she kept going back in and out of her. I don't know if it's a dream, because the girl that has the powers that can go through different dimensions, she says that she does not dream. She never dreams when she was a child.
Right.
But the villain, she has these dreams where she sees her child, but it's the same visions as the girl sees her parents, and she doesn't go to sleep. So does she have dreams, or she's just going through different dimensions as well?
So, okay, that's a very good question. So let me see if I can answer this correctly. So long story short, you're trying to figure out whether or not the girl, if Scarlet Witch herself is actually, like if she's
dreaming, or she's going to different dimensions like the girl with the powers.
Okay, so no, that's alright. So one thing we gotta do is put them on a tier list. So if we're gonna talk about travel power, the girl with the dimensions is first. You know what I mean? Then you could say Doctor Strange is next. And then you could say Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch, I would say, is not really a dimensional traveler. She's just more of a masterful witch. She knows the magics, you know what I mean, really, really well. Not to say that she cannot travel, but it is to say that her travel does not compare to that of Doctor Strange in them. You feel what I'm saying? Which is, again, one of the reasons why, if you remember in the movie, remember when she captured the bull and he teleported them outside of the mountain, and she looked at him and was like, can you not have just teleported us up there? And he was like, even my magics have limitations. So that line itself already told you her limits are below even him. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, because even herself, she couldn't teleport up there.
Exactly.
She needed him in order to travel there. Then she could fly up there. You feel what I'm saying? So her powers are limited. So she has no, like, not to say that she can't, but she doesn't have any travel dimensioning powers like Strange and the girl. But the thing about that is this. When it's just like real life. When you're, let's say you have a friend and you guys argue and you guys have a fallout, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily that you hate that person or you hate your friend. You just hate the fact that you can't explain it to them for them to understand it the way you do. You feel what I'm saying? That's what Scarlet Witch's problem was the fact of the matter, like, even though she had lost, like, mind you, it's not even a loss because, like Strange said, okay, here's the difference. This is where Scarlet Witch's whole problem started. Normally, people of that villainous intent is usually fighting in order to make that, whatever they lost, a reality. How are you making something that was already imaginative a reality? Even though it makes sense, it doesn't in her case. Because the simple fact of the matter is, usually the human psyche, let's say you lose like a close friend and they pass away. You're devastated, you know what I mean? No, my friend, you know what I'm saying? You going through it. But then that's like you literally walking up to me and being like, and I see you cry, and I'll be like, yo, Neph, you alright? You be like, no, my imaginary friend Dave died. Okay. Are you okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's Scarlet Witch. That's pretty much what she's doing. She's yelling at the world like, I lost my imaginary friend Dave! And she's expecting everybody to understand that. Whereas everybody who she's talked to experienced real life loss. Where, for example, Strange lost Christine. Even though she's physically alive, he still lost somebody he truly cared about. Whereas Scarlet Witch, the only reason she's doing what she's doing is because of her fear of not knowing or not accepting. And that is the fact of the matter that she's in a reality where she has no children. Whereas in every other dimension, because of the Darkhold allowing her to see into the different dimensions, she saw, it was kind of like one of the situations where it's like, dang, every me is happy, but the one that's currently me. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what she's going through, where she's like, it's so crazy how the probability is so low that I can't be happy. Like, it just, like, it seems so far-fetched, where it's like, okay, let's say there's 14 clones of you, right? For such a low number, you would think the success will be high for every one of you. But then once you start to accept and see, okay, probability is a factor in that all of you may not function the same, that's going to start dropping, how should I say, that's going to start dropping confidence, that's going to start dropping morale, that's going to start dropping people's psyche, where it's like for example, let's say there's 14 of y'all, and y'all find out one of y'all got cancer. Now y'all going to feel like, does that mean I got cancer? Does that mean you got cancer? You got cancer? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, in her situation, she's like, dang, so it's only 12 of us, but how come you, all the way up to the 11th one, y'all got a baby, but I don't? You feel what I'm saying? It makes her feel like,
she's the outcome.
This is so unfair. In every reality, I'm happy, but the one that it's weird to say. Like, it's really weird to say. Like, it's like every reality I'm happy except this one. You know what I mean? And it's like she's trying to make whatever they had, hers. You feel what I'm saying? Because she looks at it like, oh, they're me, just from a different dimension, so why can't I have that? But what she wasn't thinking about was what Strange was saying. Okay, so if you can come in here and you could be their mom, but what happens to that universe's mom? Because if you're claiming you're not hurting anybody, you're literally hurting the mother that you want to be. Exactly. And you're continuing that cycle. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't until the girl with the power actually punched her to see. Like, that was literally the definition of, I'm gonna punch you to see reality. Yeah. Like, she literally punched her and she saw all the reality. And was like, yo, this is really what you're doing. And when she was yelling at the kids and stuff like that and moved the mom out the way, she saw what she was doing. She was actually, the one thing she wanted, she was scaring it. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, and then everything that, because mind you, she was trying to defend herself. But it wasn't until she started hearing herself defend herself out loud that she was like, oh, I am a monster. Because mind you, she's like, I'm not a monster. I just want my kids. I just want my, same thing she wanted. I don't want to hurt anybody, yet you just hurted the one person that they look up to, which was supposed to be you, in a sense. Well, I just love you guys. Hurting somebody ain't love. Everything that she wanted was stacking against her. You feel what I'm saying? Until it finally broke her. And that's when she realized, dang, the dark hold really does have a dark hold on your mind. You feel what I'm saying? So that was a really good question, honestly, because I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know if you were getting it, but pretty much every time you saw them, like you saw Scarlet Witch with the kids, that's a different timeline. So long story short, what you were seeing is pretty much, remember when she was like meditating? Yeah. That's the real her with the crown on. That was the real her. Yeah, that was her through the mirror. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then every time you saw her with the kids, yes, that's what dream walking is. Yeah, that was it. Because that's when she was able to take her conscience and put it onto another her and then make her do what she wanted. You feel what I'm saying? That's why Strange, he figured out how to do it afterwards. You feel what I'm saying? Because remember, if you think about it, that move is only known to Darkhold users. You feel what I'm saying? To project. Because mind you, remember when as soon as Strange went out there to possess a dead body, the Soul Reapers came. You feel what I'm saying? That like all of that, it's not. That's why there's so much plot holes in this. It's like, if you think about it, throughout the multiverse, there's got to be certain rules throughout the multiverse. Which then, if we think about it, we really have to. I might be talking too deep here, but with the multiverse, this movie just proved that there has to be a higher power. There has to be some sort of order going on. Because if there was no order and the multiverse was all there was, then why was the Soul Reapers trying to get Strange? Telling him that he disobeyed the law. What law? He's multiverse. Meaning there has to be some sort of higher power. You feel what I'm saying? This is the way that I think when I watch these movies. It's because it's like, yo, there's somebody above them. You feel what I'm saying? Because for Strange to have to be put into, or anybody for that matter, be put into a certain regulation like that, there has to be some sort of order. Alright? So, with that being said, we got a chance to look at Professor Xavier. We got a chance to look at Black Bolt. We got a chance to look at Reed Richards. Mr. Reed Richards himself, alright? Captain Marvel. Well, we're not going to call her Captain Marvel. We're going to say Agent Carter. For those of you who remember Agent Carter, the show, there's a lot of the shows that are mixed into this. Like, for those of you who do not know, Agent Carter was, remember the girl with the shield? Mm-hmm. That's her. She turned into Miss Marvel. Or Miss Captain America, you could say. You feel what I'm saying? Because she's that timeline's Marvel. She's 683's or 863's universes, Captain America. Whereas in 616, we have Steve Rogers You feel what I'm saying?
She's the all black one.
Yeah, she's the one with the. No, remember she had the shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the black girl with that's Captain Marvel. Whereas in 616 we have. Did you see Captain Marvel yet?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, so it's the one girl. You feel what I'm saying? Blonde hair and all that. She's Captain Marvel.
She has short.
Yeah, like short blondish hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Captain Marvel for Earth 616.
Okay.
But 863's Marvel, Captain Marvel was the black girl. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Captain America in there, she only became Agent Carter became that Captain America when we're gonna call him Steve Rogers ended up dying. So I don't know how he died, but I'm gonna take the comic book version and take that story where Hydra actually captured him and killed him in front of the courthouse and apply it here. And then say that even though in our timeline that's way later, I'm gonna say in their timeline that happened earlier. And that's why that Captain America is who she is. Alright? So sorry about that for y'all that, you know what I mean, getting into it. But anyway, so me personally, like I said, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 for me. Let's talk about the Easter egg that was in there, because I actually, before this movie was actually put out and released, I actually watched a clip of, if you remember the part where, remember when they was at the party, at the wedding, and Strange was like, Strange had to, and it's funny too, because before I get into that, I kind of feel like that has something to do with, how should I say it? Dang man, I don't know how to really word it. Oh, okay. Remember, Captain America: Civil War?
Yeah.
If you knew what that was about, just what I got done explaining, that movie was originally in the comics where Captain America was supposed to die. But the movies switched that. You feel what I'm saying? Because remember I told you in front of the courthouse and stuff. Civil War is actually where Steve Rogers dies because he gave himself up. You feel what I'm saying? And Hydra actually eliminated him. But I say that to say this. Civil War, if you don't know what Civil War was about, Civil War was pretty much where Iron Man and Captain America were going head to head against each other. Because one faction believed that, okay, if we let people know our identity, then they'll feel safer knowing who it is to protect them, rather than putting their trust in some hooded and masked vigilante and just expecting them to save the day. Whereas you got the other faction stating like, nah bro, we gotta stay hidden. Because what's the one thing that villains always do in order to get to us good guys? They go after the people we care about. And think about this. If you unmask yourself and let the world know who you are, you're literally putting everybody you care about in danger. Can you put that on your shoulders? And so those two, even though they both have right theories, they still went head to head. Now, mind you, I say that to say this. Spider-Man was part of the faction to just be like, I think he wanted to stay masked up. You feel what I'm saying?
What?
No, he didn't. He actually wanted to, because that's how No Way Home happened.
Yeah.
So, long story short, he wanted everybody to know who he was. You feel what I'm saying? But the problem with that was exactly what they were talking about. Everybody started hunting down Spider-Man. You feel what I'm saying? Which is why Spider-Man went
missing.
That too, but that's another reason why he also went to Strange. Because remember, he wanted everybody except MJ to forget he was Spider-Man. But Strange is like, once you erase something in the universe, it all proofs to that condition. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I can't just rig the system to just be like, hey, 3 of you out of the 4 is gonna remember. I can't do that. You feel what I'm saying? And that's how we got the multiverse. But like I said, so with that being said, let's talk about the Easter egg, because that was funny. All right, the Easter egg that I found in there or saw beforehand Was the fact of the matter, if you remember when Strange jumped off the roof, and remember you see the bus crumpling, but you couldn't see what it was.
Yeah.
And then remember Strange actually pulled reality, and he saw it was an octopus. Remember he was tearing? Now if you notice, if you look really, really closely, alright? It's funny. I wish I could show it to you. I'll probably throw the clip of it in the video for you guys. But if you notice really, really closely, from the different angles they were showing Strange actually undo the reality, there's a guy with the suitcase. Remember the guy who was running with the suitcase next to Strange as he was walking?
Yeah.
If you actually notice, they never cut him out of the other 4 skips. Meaning, if you actually rewatch it, when Strange is, let's say Strange is walking towards me, you'll see the guy with the briefcase run next to Strange as he's performing the hand seals. If you watch the clip from behind him, before he even does the hand signs, the guy's already passed him. If you look at the one that's from a side, in the middle of him putting his hands up, the guy's running around from the in front of the car. And in the last clip where you actually see him pull the reality, you actually see the guys already ran behind him. There's 4 different takes of that same guy running in different intervals, and they never cut it. That's the one thing, remember I was telling you while we was in there, I was like, I'm gonna see if they still did it. I'm gonna see if they still do it. That's what I was talking about. And they still did it. They never cut it. So that was, make sure you guys pay attention to that part right there. Mind you, when Strange is actually tearing away the fabrics of reality in order to actually see what it was that was destroying the bus, watch the guy in the suit next to him and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Is there anything else that, you know what I mean, you want to add to it? You know what I mean? What else did you
I want to go back on Strange's eye. I think that Strange's eye, like you said, it has a big part, and we're going into the universe, it can see things.
Mm-hmm.
I think the eye can like see certain things, like as in like Strange has power, like you know how he can go back through time and do things. I think that eye can make him see like the future, make him like go through things before he does it. I think that eye has that more of like logic to it. So when he does certain things, he can see like through building, like you know how people like see through buildings like through microscopes.
Yeah.
I think that eye doesn't really do that, but it has a kind of
like some sort of premonition where it can like some sort of clairvoyance where it can see something before it happens.
Yes.
That I gotta say, I don't mean to shoot that idea down because you know you are thinking, you know what I mean. But unfortunately,
back into space because she said the lady said that you broke the law and it's going to like a space like purple and then So I'm thinking like it has something to do with future.
Yeah. That's a good idea, and I'm gonna let you rock with that. But here's my theory on that. This is where I think is going to happen because, mind you, when who was it? Christine from Earth 683. I mean from 863. Remember when she actually finally started to trust Strange and they went to the one dimension where it was all dark?
Yes.
Now, mind you, she was like, what's going on with this dimension? Is it bent in on itself? Meaning, I don't know if you got that, but everything that Scarlet Witch was touching, she was leaving so much of a mark that the universe and fabric of time itself in that universe was collapsing on itself. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
So with that being said, mind you, now, if you've watched Avengers Infinity War, where Strange, remember they had to go to Strange in order to figure out the possibility of how to defeat Thanos. Remember he came down to the only possibility was Tony Stark sacrificing himself. So, Strange, I don't think necessarily the eye is something that sees something before it happens. You feel what I'm saying? Because Strange already has that power. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he has the power, because in that particular setting, he was literally using the power to see different realities and outcomes before they happen. You feel what I'm saying? So, me personally, that's why I feel like eye probably really doesn't have anything to do with that part. But I do want to piggyback off of your theory and say, you know, I do feel like that eye is going to give Strange like the power, like the power towards the dark earth.
Yeah.
Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, because mind you, the one thing that's like, I feel like I would be naive to not think Strange could get a power up when the girl who's multi-dimensional, mind you, she can go through different dimensions. But remember, at the end, he brought the girl to train under them, and you can obviously tell she can learn to wield the magic because you can see the sparks she's feeling with the sparks. You feel what I'm saying? Which later on, I feel as though she will become one of the most powerful besides Strange in them. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah.
And I wonder that now that she's in there, will she go with Shang-Chi? Because Shang-Chi's also...
Exactly. Because remember the bull who Strange is with?
Yeah.
He was in Shang-Chi.
Exactly.
And he came out and with the portal joke because he had to go... Because mind you, the 10 rings had something to do with Strange in them. You feel what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool too. So that's why I feel as though if the girl already has her power, but she's learning Strange's power, it would be naive of us to think that Strange couldn't learn more magic, you know? But I think like this Strange is going to be the darker version where he can, like, I feel like he's going to be like Scarlet Witch, where it's like we know him to be the good Strange, but when time comes and it's necessary, he'll pull the dark arts. You feel what I'm saying? But that's what I also think that eye is. I think it's just nothing more than a power up to show that like he's ascended beyond the level that he once was at. You know what I mean? So definitely take a look at the next Doctor Strange when it comes out, because we already know it's gonna come. But oh yeah, that's my theory as well. At the end, like he was saying, the girl comes and she's like, you disrupted the law and you caused another incursion. That's when Strange opens the third eye. But if you notice, the dagger she uses is pretty much galactical. You know what I mean? Like, it's purple aura.
That's why it's the future.
Right. And where have we seen this purple aura before? Where have we seen purple mist like that before? We've seen it in Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay? Guardians of the Galaxy is nothing more than the space amalgam, an association of all the universe